Bazaar in Sunnyvale, and I was just roaming around there with my family. This is pre-COVID, and I had met Aparna, if you know her, and her husband, and they were giving out flyers to join. I forget some festival at ISKCON temple, and so I was like, oh yeah, I mean I love Krishna, and I've never been to ISKCON here, and I'm from ISKCON, and I've been to ISKCON in Delhi. That's where I'm originally from, and so I was like, okay, let me go check out ISKCON here, and that's how I came in touch with Aparna. And after COVID, it's so weird. For some reason, I didn't see her in the temple, but then I reached out to her like a few weeks back, and then ever since, she's really gotten me into reading Gita every day, and I am doing almost 2 to 3 malas every day. So, hopefully, I'll get better at that. But that's how I'm here, just catching up with everything I've missed all my life.
There you go. But it's never too late to start.
Yeah.
So welcome to the group.
Welcome, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So, Adi, we also have a WhatsApp group for these conversations, and we will add you to that now that I have your number there.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, are we ready to read?
So yeah, after you it's Archana Mataji, and then after Archana Mataji is Sukomal Radha Mataji. Mataji, I think we'll just go ahead and read. This is going to take a lot of time.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, whatever you are the one deciding. I'm game.
Yeah, Mataji. I think I'm assuming everyone has read the order.
Everybody has read the order, and if not, then there's a fine, right? Okay, I'm just kidding. So please, I'm going to bring up the Bhagavad Gita chapter here on the screen for all of you, and we'll just go there. And let me know when you can see the screen. And what chapter are we reading?
Are we doing
11th chapter, Mataji, from 28 to 55.
Very nice. Okay, so coming up, chapter 11 on a screen close to you. And we'll go 28. And Varshana Mataji, brace yourself for reading. 2 verses, 28, 28, 28.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam, Mataji.
All right, fantastic. Go for it.
As the many waves of the rivers flow into the ocean, so do all these great warriors enter blazing into your mouths. Text 29. I see all people rushing full speed into your mouth as moth dash to destruction and blazing fire. Hare Krishna. Simi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering all the universe with your effulgence. You are manifest with terrible scorching rays. O Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Aditi Mataji. Oh, sorry, more. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is. Hare Krishna. Aditi Mataji.
Hare Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Time I am, the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people, with the exception of you, the Pandavas. All the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. Therefore, get up, prepare to fight, and win glory. Conquer your enemies and enjoy your flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, O Savyasachi, can be but an instrument in the fight. Hare Krishna. Next is Archana Mataji.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat pranams. Hare Krishna to all the devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Text 34. Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, and the other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore, kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight, and you will vanquish your enemies in battle. Text 35. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trembling Arjuna offered obeisances with folded hands again and again. He fearfully spoke to Lord Krishna in a faltering voice as follows. Hare Krishna.
Text 36. Arjuna said, O master of the senses, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done. Text 37. O Great One, greater even than Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer their respectful obeisances unto you? O Limitless One, God of gods, refuge of the universe, you are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation. Garima Mataji.
Text 38. You're the original personality of Godhead, the oldest and the ultimate sanctuary of this manifest cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. You are the supreme research of the entire modes, O limitless form, the whole cosmic magnification is provided by you.
Okay, I want to just ask you whether is it my computer that is making this background thing? Is the sound coming from my computer?
और विंध्यावली माता जी नहीं
Vidyavali Mataji, can you mute yourself?
yeah now it is better.
Okay, she muted. Okay, yeah, I was just wondering this, was it coming from my computer? Okay, good. Sorry. So I'll scroll up now and go to 39.
You are air and you are the supreme controller. You are fire, you are water, and you are the moon. You are Brahma, the first living creature. And you are the great grandfather. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times, and again, and yet again.
Ask the baton.
Niral Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Text 40. Obeisances to you from the front, from behind, and from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all pervading, and thus you are everything. Text 41-42. Thinking of you as my friend, I have rashly addressed you, O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend, not knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times, jesting as we relaxed, lay on the same bed or sat or ate together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me for all those offenses. Hare Krishna. Varshana Mataji.
Hare Krishna. You are the father of this complete cosmic manifestation of the moving and the non-moving. You are its worshipable chief, the supreme spiritual master. No one is equal to you, nor can any one of you, nor can anyone be, uh, nor can anyone be one with you. How then there could be anyone greater than you within the three worlds, O Lord of immeasurable power? Text 44. You are the supreme Lord to be worshipped by every living being. Thus I fall down, offer my respectful obeisances and your mercy. As a father tolerates the impudence of his son, a friend the impertinence of a friend, or a husband the familiarity of his wife, please tolerate the wrongs I may have done to you. Hare Krishna.
Varshana
Simi
Mataji.
Mataji.
Yes, thank you.
And Sydney Mataji, just while you are reading, after you, there will be Archana Mataji next. Adi Mataji, she said she cannot read it. Thank you.
Simi, are you talking on mute?
Yeah, sorry. Hare Krishna. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I'm gladdened, but at the same time, my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of universe. O universal form, O thousand-armed Lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form, with helmeted head and with club, wheel, conch, and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form. Hare Krishna. Archana Mataji.
Text 47. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, happily have I shown you by my internal potency this supreme universal form within the material world. No one before you has ever seen this primal form, unlimited and full of glaring effulgence. Text 48. O best of the Kuru warriors, no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine, for neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charity, nor by pious activities, nor by severe penances can I be seen in this form in the material world. Hare Krishna. Sukomal Mataji.
Yeah. Text 49. You have been perturbed and bewildered by seeing this horrible feature of mine. Now let it be finished. My devotee, be free again from all disturbances. With a peaceful mind, you can now see the form you desire. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, having spoken thus to Arjuna, displayed his real four-armed form and at last showed his two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna. Garima Mataji.
When Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, O Janardana, seeing this human like form so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind and I am restored to my original nature. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, this form of mine you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. Even the demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form, which is so dear. Neeral Prabhu, your turn.
Thank you, Mataji. The form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotion service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. Hare Krishna. Varshana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Text 55. My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from contaminations of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. Okay,
So,
fun time.
One time.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry, I'm late.
Yamani.
I'm late.
Mataji, there's something
Hare
going
Krishna
on.
Mataji. I'm
Yeah,
late
Hare
too.
Krishna.
Sorry.
No problem, Namazya. Latecomers are giving good job satisfaction to Neeral Prabhu, who has to redo the reading order. Yeah. So, Vindhyavali Mataji, there's something in your background,
yes.
something going on in your background. So, if you can mute.
Because
Please.
of this?
No, I don't know. I hear. Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
Good.
in the hotel.
Hare
I'm in Cleveland. I'm in Cleveland.
Oh, no.
On the way to LA.
Very nice. Very nice. We're happy. Welcome back.
My
Let us know.
granddaughter is here to see her we came.
Oh, you come here. Okay, fantastic.
From here, I will go to Denver. From there to LA.
LA. Okay, very good. So, reflection
Hare,
time. Reflection.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandat Pranam Mataji.
Dandat Pranam.
Mataji, I really like the point that God has, you see, kept everything. I mean, told everything that unless you, the person, that person only comes to me who has all these qualifications. My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from contamination of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life and who is a friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. He hasn't left anything behind.
Yeah, that's Krishna. So yeah, so can you all remember a verse that sort of says the similar thing almost?
Chapter 10, Shraddha Mataji.
And what does chapter 10 say? Which verse are you thinking about?
Yeah, I know. Tesam Sapata.
Tesham satata yuktanam
Yanam
bhajatam
Pachitam
purvakam
Iti Purvakam.
dadami buddhi
Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te.
There you go. So thank you, Sonal Mataji.
Yeah.
So what does it mean, that verse?
Um,
Tesham
Tesham
Satata.
satata yuktanam.
yeah.
So those who
And
Always,
always, right?
yeah.
always yukta, thinking of me. No?
Yeah. So basically, the essence of that verse is that those who are always engaged in thinking about him and
Engaged
doing
in
devotional
thinking of
service
me.
to him.
Yeah,
So
he
what
will
does Krishna do?
show.
Buddhi Purvakam, think
He will remove the
always.
darkness, right?
Yes, he
With
will.
the
Yeah,
shining lamp of knowledge.
right. Dami buddhi yogam tam.
Yeah.
Yenamam. So he will. So if you endeavor,
Yeah.
so if you have the desire in your heart that I want to go to Krishna, then Krishna will give you that intelligence as to how you do that. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And Krishna does it. In the mundane world, it's not like that. You want to go and tell your manager, I want a promotion. He'll say, you work harder, right? But here, see, the dynamics are so different. Yeah, so that's a good citation. And any other words that I use a lot. See, what is it saying? Be free from the contamination of fruitive activities
Oh,
and mental speculation. No mental speculation. Who works for him? It starts with the word anya. Anybody remember anya?
Anya Bhilasha.
Yeah,
Anya
Anya
Bhilasha
bilashita
something.
shunyam.
Shunyam.
yeah.
Anya bilashita shunyam.
See? Right.
Yena mama upayanti te. I forgot.
Mixture of them. Anya Vilashita
Bhilasha.
Shunyam. Jnana Karmadi Anavitam. Jnana means mental speculation.
Mental speculation. Jnana
Karmadi
Karma.
fruitive activities. Jnana Karvadi Anavitam. Anukulyena Krishnanu. Shilanam works for Krishna. Right? Works for him.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Free from all other contamination. Who is a friend to every living entity. That's the extra there. Right? Jnana Karmadinavitam Anukulyena Krishnanu Shilanam Bhakti Uttama. So that is the real bhakti.
Real
That
bhakti.
is the pure devotional service is what he's describing. And here also Krishna is saying such a person will certainly come to him. So we have to do pure devotional service because otherwise devotional service can get contaminated. Right? What can a devotional service be contaminated with?
Uh,
Mataji, disrespecting the devotees, the Vaishnavas.
Okay. So,
Disrespecting the Vaishnavas.
okay.
Mataji with passion.
With passion, yeah. Please expand a little bit more on that.
I mean, we could have our own agenda for certain things at times. Like, okay,
Very
I'll
right.
pray to
Very right.
Krishna, I'll get
Right.
these
Right.
opulence myself.
Yeah.
the material contamination.
Material
Yeah.
contamination. Your devotional service has been contaminated by a desire to achieve something.
desire, asking something.
Asking something. And there are 4 types of people who come to Krishna. He says that in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Right? Chaturvidha bhajante maam jana sukhino arjuna artho jigyasu arthati jnani cha bharata rishabha. So artho means those who are in distress. Can you give me an example of somebody who is in distress and who reached out to God?
Dhruv Maharaj was in distress.
Dhruv Maharaj.
Okay, anybody else?
Gajendra. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, Gajendra is more for that. Dhruv Maharaj had a distress, but he had more anger in him, right? But Gajendra is a classical example of distress.
Answer from Khyati.
Yeah. Answer came from Khyati? Okay.
Yeah.
So Draupadi also comes in that?
Yes, of
Draupadi?
course, of course. Draupadi comes like
Draupadi.
that. Yeah, yes, like that. Okay. What other?
Gajendra, Dhruv Maharaj.
Yeah.
Kunti Mataji.
All of us.
and
Yes, Kunti.
Uttara.
Yes. All of us.
All of us.
All of us. All of us.
Especially in this COVID situation, all of
We
us are in
are.
distress. Prabhu.
Yeah, all of us are in distress, but unfortunately, not all of us are calling out to Krishna. But the numbers,
That is the unfortunate part.
yeah, that's the unfortunate part. But numbers have increased. I can see that a lot of people um, are taking, they have figured it out that this is Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. This is an unhappy place. So there's no point trying to adjust in this material world and think that I'm going to get some everlasting happiness. So why do you think you want everlasting happiness? What's the reason?
We always want to be in a comfortable zone. Mataji.
Yeah, but why is it that? Why is that trend?
Because we are the eternal fragmental part of the Supreme Personality of God.
Right. Because you
Satchit
are
Anand.
eternal. You are eternal. And that's why you like
Yes.
things to be eternal. Right? If I am South Indian, I like things to be idli. If I am from the north, I like things to be bhatura, like that. Similarly, I am a soul. I am eternal. So I like eternal. And so what is the flaw? That we try to look for eternity in things which are by design and by nature not eternal. Right? So we try to look into relationships and we think that they'll be eternal, right? But even if they last you, how long can they last? How long can a relationship last? Think about it.
Lifetime.
It's a lifetime.
Lifetime. Exactly.
Our
At the time, at the most, till I die, Mataji. After that, it is over.
Yeah, a lifetime, as Neeral Prabhu said. It can only last you a lifetime. But
Yeah.
then you live beyond the life, right?
Yes.
soul lives.
The soul lives forever. Yeah. Okay, so thank you. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Anything else anybody liked, saw, and from this chapter, or should we go to chapter 2, which we are doing in detail?
Chapter.
Chapter 2?
Yeah.
All right, so one vote for chapter 2.
Yes, Mataji, skip chapter 2.
Good. And so we'll start sharing the screen. I'll go to chapter number 2 and bring up chapter 2, Bhagavad Gita, as it is. Okay, and which verse are we doing, Varshana Mataji, today?
Mataji, 53, we are
53.
continuing. 53, we are continuing.
We are doing it again, and and again, and again, and again. And that's a fantastic thing to remember, right? Text number 53. Okay. And it'll be Varshana Mataji will read. Continue because she did only one there.
Uh, yes, Mataji.
Okay. She's laughing. Never leave an opportunity to read.
Shruti viprapanna te yada shas yada shasyati nischala
Tasya-
yada
Stasyati.
sthasyati nischala samadhavachala buddhi tada yogam avapsyasi. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. All right. Synonyms. Who gets to have the synonyms? You have to pass the baton, Varshana Mataji, to the next person to read.
Kahin se, Mataji, was there anything wrong, Mataji, somewhere in my pronunciation?
I think you
Tasa-
stumbled on this word.
Stasyati.
Sthasyati.
Stasyasi.
Stasyati, yes.
Sthasyati, right? If you go a little bit slow, then you won't meet that.
No, Mataji, I was little confused about this. Buddhi tada, we will say samadhava chala buddhi.
But it is Buddhist.
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 Yeah.
So, S will be Mataji, sir or her.
Buddhist tada. Continuous like that. Is that right, Mataji?
Yeah. So
Buddhist tada.
yes. So it is Buddhist, right? And I think your confusion is coming from because you're looking in the synonyms, right? And in the synonyms, you will find Buddhihi, right?
No, Mataji, buddhi. Yes.
That's why you are
Buddhi.
asking the question, should it be Buddhihi or should it be Buddhist, which is right, right? So you know in
Yeah.
Sanskrit, when things are juxtaposed, right? This word is next to this word. So sometimes depending on what is over here, the previous word will change the shape. So instead of a H, when you're pronouncing it, it'll become a S here, right? He's
Yeah,
keeping
yeah.
the sta over here. But if I were to do what is known as a sandhi vichhed,
Sta,
right?
sta.
You
Yeah.
break it into two, right? If you break it into two, so then it becomes as Prabhupada has done. Yeah, he has broken it into two, buddhihi and tada. But when they come together, like then this one changes
Buddhist,
shape and will become a S, so Buddhist, like that.
Okay.
So you will go by what? Very simple. You'll go by
Thank you.
what Prabhupada has written, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So S has to be pronounced. Yeah. And did you pass the baton? Who's going to read after you, Vaishana Mataji?
Simi Mataji. Simi Mataji.
Okay, Simi Mataji. Okay, very good. And I'd also like to welcome Dilip Bhai Patel Prabhu and Hemlata Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances who are watching us on Facebook. Hari Bol. Translation. Simi.
Is there any place for me to read, Mataji?
There will be a chance for you to read, but right now Simi is going to read.
Mataji, you can take up my part. I'll
It's okay.
Yeah,
It's
after
okay.
Garima Mataji. I'll update the order. After Garima Mataji, you can read.
Oh, we did not put her? Okay, sorry, I didn't realize that. Okay.
Hare Krishna. Translation. When your mind is no longer disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, and when it remains fixed in the trance of self-realization, then you will have attained the divine consciousness. Mataji, should I continue or?
Next person will do that. Yeah, pass the baton.
Okay. It's Archana Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Purport: to say that one is in samadhi is to say that one has fully realized Krishna consciousness. That is, one in full samadhi has realized Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. The highest perfection of self realization is to understand that one is eternally the servitor of the Krishna and that one's only business is to discharge one's duties in Krishna consciousness. So, Komala Mataji, you can read. Hare Krishna.
Okay. A Krishna conscious person or unflinching devotee of the Lord should not be disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, nor be engaged in fruitive activities for promotion to the heavenly kingdom. In Krishna consciousness, one comes directly into communion with Krishna, and thus all directions from Krishna may be understood in that transcendental state. One is sure to achieve results by such activities and attain conclusive knowledge. One has only to carry out the orders of Krishna or his representative, the spiritual master.
Hari Bol. All right, then again, on time. Reflections.
Samadhi meaning is described here like you should be in Krishna consciousness, do your duty, actions in Krishna consciousness.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk a little bit about what do we mean by doing things in Krishna consciousness. The thoughts about that, what do you think is I'm doing things in Krishna consciousness, so I'm in samadhi.
Devotional service.
You're doing your service. Okay, good. Devotional service. So one has to do devotional service all the time. Like sit with a mala the whole time, sit in front
chanting,
of chanting.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Especially in the Purushottam month, I realized that because everybody, you have the feeling that so and so is reading this, so and so is doing that. So with the result, you are remembering Krishna most of the time in the day. So I feel that is also samadhi.
Yes. What exactly is samadhi?
When you think about him all the time is samadhi only.
Yeah, when you think about anything. I can go into samadhi on an ice cream, right? When all
thinking
the
about Krishna.
Yes,
thinking about Krishna.
The real samadhi. Yeah, it's the real samadhi, right? I can go in samadhi for any reason. Samadhi means that your mind has become focused on something. Vindhyavali, go ahead, Mataji.
engaged in Krishna service all the time and with mm, mentally, physically, like that.
Okay,
I
mind,
thought
body, and words, right? Okay. What
mind, body,
exactly is to be doing something
devotional
in
service.
Krishna consciousness? What exactly does it mean to be doing something in Krishna consciousness?
Put everything for center Krishna and do whatever you do.
Okay, so how do you put Krishna in the center?
I-
What does it mean to put Krishna in the center? Like I put him in the center of the room, center of the altar,
No, no.
center of my forehead. Where do I put him?
Whatever I do, whatever I do.
Whatever you do, then how does Krishna come in the center of it?
Yes.
It's for Krishna's. Um, I don't know how to express Mataji.
Okay, Varshana Mataji can understand. I think she has
Yes,
a person.
Mataji, like I'm cooking in the kitchen, so I should think that I'm cooking for Krishna. So I'm keeping Krishna in the center. And
That's
if
what I
I'm
thought.
cleaning, if I'm cleaning the house, it is
For
Krishna's
him
house,
to
and I'm
clean.
cleaning the house.
It's Krishna's
I'm
house.
cleaning the house.
Okay, all right.
Uh,
So now let's go back and look at Bhagavad Gita. Right? So you all know you are reading it for the 7th, 8th, 10th, 15th time. So how did Arjuna move into Krishna consciousness? What did Arjuna do that you will say that Arjuna is Krishna conscious?
Shranagati, 2.7.
So 2.7 he surrendered, and so after you surrendered, then you are
Yes,
Krishna conscious.
Surrendering.
So what is surrendering?
yes.
Sarvadharman Parityaj. Sarvadharman Parityaj.
So Sarvadharman Parityaja means I throw my mala away and I throw my diya and then Sarvadharman Parityajya. What exactly is surrender? You are there on the track, but elaborate a little bit more on that. What exactly is, what does it mean to surrender?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, I myself cannot do anything. You are the only one, and who can direct you see to do me. You
So
make me
is
the
that surrender?
sadhan to do
Is,
the thing.
is that surrender or is it helplessness? Right? I'm imagining that I can't do anything by myself, that Krishna is doing everything, right? So is that surrender? What exactly does surrender mean?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, sir.
Surrender, I feel Mataji, like you need to go with the sweet will of the Lord. Like if something favorable comes, then also you need to be okay, this is happening to me because of Krishna only. And if something unfavorable also comes, okay, this is also Krishna's mercy. So everything, whatever is happening to me in my life is
It's
because of,
Krishna's mercy.
yeah.
It's
So we
Krishna's
have
mercy.
to, yeah, we have to accept that
So you
with heart.
accept that. So and that is surrender.
Good or bad. Good or bad.
Okay. Good or bad, you say that this is Krishna's thing. I mean, do we even have a choice? Do we have a choice?
No.
Good will happen to us,
No.
bad will happen to
No. No.
us, right? So how can we say that Arjuna became Krishna conscious? Being Krishna conscious in your life is that in whatever you are doing, like you said, washing, cleaning, cooking, and all that, you are conscious that there is Krishna. And not only that, you have to do things to please Krishna. See, Arjuna in the beginning,
Please
first chapter
Krishna.
of Bhagavad Gita,
Yeah.
fantastic
Please
person.
Krishna.
He's a fantastic person. He's saying that I should not kill my teachers, my grandfathers, my uncles, and all that. And he gives such nice reasons why he should not do that. And they are such fantastic reasons that we are almost convinced that there should not be any Mahabharata. So that was Arjuna's will. Arjuna wanted to behave that way. Right? And then in the second chapter, as he pointed out, he said, Shishyaste ham shadi mam tvam prapannam. So he surrenders to Krishna. But still, he had just surrendered to Krishna. He said, okay, now I am your soul surrendered unto you. You please instruct me. So he had surrendered to Krishna to the extent that, okay, I'm willing to listen to you. Right? And then Krishna speaks for the rest of the 17 chapters. And in the end of the 17th chapter, and in this one also, the one that we read, the 11th chapter, right? So what did Krishna show? Krishna showed him the universal form, where he sees that everybody has been killed or is going to die. And Krishna also tells him that Nimit Matra Bhava Savya Sachin. You just are an instrument I've already killed. So from here, Arjuna starts to understand that having the Mahabharat war is actually a will of the Lord. Krishna wants the war to happen. So he did a 180-degree turn and said, okay, when Krishna asks him in the 18th chapter, I have told you everything. Now you do what
You do what?
And at that time, the sweet surrender comes at that time, because now he has realized that as a soul, it is duty to do what Krishna wants him to do. So the same Arjuna who did not want to pick up his bow and arrow and kill his grandfather, later on, knowing that Krishna wants these, people to leave this planet, he himself put his grandfather on the Charshaya, right? On the bed of thousands of arrows, like that. He put so many arrows into his grandfather that you could not see the different distance between one arrow and another arrow. He had put so many. And you can imagine how painful it would have been for Vishnu Kama. But that's a different story, and the reasons behind that are different. But that was Krishna consciousness, that you do, even if you are not along that line, but you align yourself with the will of the Supreme Lord. That is Krishna consciousness. So if Krishna wants you, and to whom will Krishna tell you what he wants? We are not very lucky that we'll have Krishna driving our car and he'll turn around and say, hey, Varshana, I want you to do that.
To our Guru Maharaj.
Through your spiritual master. And we read that, right? We read that here also. We read that here also, right? So the spiritual master is going to go and tell you what you should do. So that is why it's important for us to have somebody who can guide us in our spiritual life, right? So otherwise, and that is Krishna consciousness. Then you will now start listening to the will of your spiritual master, right? You first get a bona fide spiritual master. Not every spiritual master on the internet is worthy of becoming a spiritual master, right? You choose a bona fide one who's connected to a spiritual master. Should be connected to what? IDC.
Krishna.
IDC, yeah, connected to Krishna via
the Sampradaya.
Sampradaya. There you go. There you go. Yes. So you have to be connected through the disciplic succession. Brahma, Brahma tells Narada, Narada tells Vyasa. So whenever somebody comes and says, I want to become a spiritual master, I'm this and I'm that, or you find somebody nice that you're getting impressed, always try to find out what lineage. You have to find out their lineage, right? So lineage. From where are you learning all this? And the lineage should always lead to who should be on the top of your sampradaya? Krishna. Krishna should be at the top of your sampradaya. Why should Krishna be on the top of your sampradaya?
Because Krishna gave the knowledge first to
Brahma,
Vivishwan and the sun god, and this is how it came. Yeah.
No, but
first to Brahma, then to Vishwan.
Yeah, so that
Brahma,
is but that is your lineage, right? That is your lineage. The lineage that you are.
Whereas, Prabhupada-ji and then Guru and his Guru.
Yeah. So that is fine. Now I'm saying that instead of Prabhupada, if I have some other Guru, right? And then I start walking up the lineage. Where should the lineage end? And you said Krishna, right? All
Krishna.
And in Krishna. My question here is that why do you think? Why should the lineage end on Krishna? Why can it not end on Brahma? Why should not I believe everything that Brahma says?
He is the original personality of Godhead. So everything originated.
Supreme personality of Godhead.
Okay. Yeah, but what is there which is different between Brahma and Krishna? That I have to say that Brahma is not good enough. I have to still go one rung higher in the ladder.
Because even Brahma gets his energy from Krishna, right?
From Krishna.
So if Brahma gets energy from Krishna, good. I agree, he got Krishna's energy.
Mataji, I feel because chapter 15, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself says, I am the knower of the Vedas. So everything, all the knowledge is coming from him. And he
gave
only
the knowledge to Brahma.
giving it to Brahmaji.
He gave it to Brahma, so Brahma is good enough. He gave it, right?
But he is the original.
But he's the original.
The creator of Brahma.
Why do you want the original? Is Brahma not good enough for us? Or we are great? Huh?
Because from others it can get destroyed. From Krishna it can
will filter.
get destroyed.
Say that, Kathy, you are saying something.
Yeah, Mataji, I was saying that from others it can get destroyed or deviated, but from Krishna it's the original.
Original, original.
There you go. And why does it get
Yes.
sort of deviated? Why? What is it?
Because everyone adds their own perspective in it, right?
Okay.
Correct.
If I
Right.
don't even add my perspective, I'm a true student of Krishna, and I try to repeat the Bhagavad Gita to you. What makes it? What makes it polluted?
Because Krishna is
Still
infallible.
Krishna's mouth, it came.
Krishna is infallible and others are fallible.
There
Fallible.
you go. Right. And so we are fallible because of,
Our association with matter.
Defects.
yes, Varshana, give me. Because of four?
Four principles, huh?
Uh,
No, no.
No, no.
yeah.
Wait,
Defective senses,
Four,
Mataji.
yes, we have got
for
four.
sense,
We have got, because of the four defects that we have. And what
sense,
are the four defects
defects.
that
Yeah.
we have? The first defect you said is defective senses, right?
Senses.
So what is the defect?
Senses.
Okay, can you tell me what is the defect of my senses? I have got a weak eyesight, but I got corrective lenses. What's wrong with
Oh,
my vision? Nothing?
Mataji, 1 minute. Like you see, I may be wearing the specs, but I can be mistaken with the rope and the snake. The same, you see, can be mistaken there. You see, same way, you see, my senses, you are saying something and I'm hearing something. My perspective may be different. Your perspective of telling maybe, so that is also a defective sense. Mataji.
Okay. Okay. I won't take it, but I will, and I'll tell you the reason. I will just table that thought.
Mhm.
Okay. Now give me the second defect. One you said is defective senses. Second is what?
speech.
Four defects. Ishopanishad introduction.
Shavanam.
So we
Yes.
have senses which are defective,
Seven.
right? So defect means what are the sense supposed to do? They are supposed to gather knowledge, right?
Yes.
That is what they do. Eyes, what do the eyes do? They get knowledge about the form, color, so on,
Hmm.
right?
Ears
Right?
here.
Okay. Now let's see what is the defect.
I think we
You
create
go on.
illusion, right?
Sorry,
Illusion. What is not true, we perceive it to be true.
but that is a defect.
Yeah.
That's not defective senses, right? That is not the defective senses.
Hearing also, Mataji.
Sense, hearing is a sense, right?
Sense.
Yeah. So all those are there in the defects. And the defect, when we say that we have got one of the defects in a person who is in a material body, is that he has got material senses and the material senses are defective. So what does it mean when it says the material senses are defective? That means that whatever your senses are supposed to gather the information, they will not give you accurate
Correct information.
information that you're trying to gather. For example, if I take let's assume that I have a table here which is made of steel, right? Like in the temple kitchen, you have steel tables. Okay.
Mm.
Now, if you are coming out from the sun, right? If you come out from the
Gives
sun and go into the temple and you touch that table, how will it feel? Hot or cold?
Cold.
heart. If
Cold.
it is in
Cold.
sun, heart.
If you are in the sun,
Yeah.
if you
Cold.
were in the
Then
sun,
it will be cold. It
it
will
will
be
feel
cold.
cold, right?
Cold.
Okay. Right? Now, if you go into the refrigerator, start working with some ice over there, and then come back and touch the table, how will it feel? Hot or cold?
Hot.
Lesser than that cold. But little warm.
Yeah, right? So now it's the same table, it's the same temperature,
Same time.
right? But
Yeah.
you are gathering different information. Sometimes you're saying it's hot, sometimes you're saying it's cold, right? So sometimes these senses are there and they gather this information for you for purposes of preserving your body. It's just giving you information relative to you, how you are. It's giving you information relative to the temperature that you have. It's saying, hey, just come out of you're just coming from the sun. This is colder than you are. You're coming from the refrigerator. Hey, this table is hotter than you are. So, depending on that, you will do that. Again, when it comes to gathering the information, the temperature can never get the right information, right? Second thing is that your eyes. Okay, you try to see something with your eyes. Now your eyes will look at something, and for example, if I take now, let me try to find something which is there around me. I don't know what to show. Here's a pen, right? If I take this pen and I ask you what's the size of this pen, you will make some guesses as to how big this pen is, right? Now, if I go away 10 feet away from you and ask you what's the size, 20 feet away from
This
you,
is
what's the
smaller.
size?
It will be smaller.
Away from
It's
size,
smaller.
right? If you go on the top of a 17-story building, Eiffel Towers in France, and I show you this pen, right?
Even smaller.
Right? So that is known as a defect. So you might just say that, oh, you know what, because you're moving the pen away from me, I'm not able to see it. So we will,
Yeah.
okay, so let's do the opposite. Let's bring it closer to your eyes. The closer you bring the pen to your eyes, are you able to get gather the right
Bigger.
size, right? Even if I put it over here, can I even know the size of the pen? You can, right? You close your eyes, everybody, and try to see your eyelids. Can you see your eyelids? They're the closest thing to your eyes.
Mm.
So that is why when we say that we have got defective senses, that is what we mean by defective senses, that they won't gather the right information. And the second
Wow.
thing is that when that information is presented to you, right, then you will make mistakes in interpreting it. That is how when you get illusion. That is, you will see that a rope is over there, but somehow when that information is presented as to the color of the rope, the size of the rope, the position of the rope, you will interpret that and say it is a snake. Right? So that is a problem, not with the eyes not gathering the information, but the interpretation of that becomes wrong. Right? Now, eyes being defective might again the eyes being defective might not be able to even see the color of the snake properly, might see it too big or too small, or the snake is too far away, might not be able to see the snake. If the snake is
Village.
is there inside in a if it's a green snake and in greenery, you might not even be able to see it, right? So that is coming from the defect of the senses. But once you see the snake there, you might just that either it's a creeper or it's a rope and things like that. So that's that you have a tendency to get illusion, right? And then there is a tendency to make errors and mistakes, right? So what are the kinds of mistakes that we do with our senses? And when I'm talking about senses, now I'm also talking about the working senses, like hands are the working senses, right? You do your work with your hands. So can I make mistakes with my hand? If I have a pen in my hand, can I make mistakes in writing it? Do we make
Yeah.
right?
We do.
Can you read here from the Bhagavad Gita? You're all reciting perfect. We are all
No,
reciting
we
perfect,
don't.
right? No, right? So
No.
we have this tendency to make mistakes. The third. And what is the fourth defect that we have?
That's what I said, hearing. No?
No, hearing is senses. So the fourth defect that you have is that we have
Defect. Okay.
we have a tendency to cheat,
Cheat.
right? The
Yes,
tendency
Mother.
to cheat is that you make a mistake, will not accept it, will blame it on something else, or it's like sometimes they'll say like oh,
I didn't do
what
it.
kind of yeah, how did you make this? I think there's too much of salt in it. Now we don't want to accept it. Then we go and taste it, and we know it's salty. Then you'll say, I don't think it's salty. To me, it seems like perfect because
Coverage.
that's
Cover
how it's to
that.
do, right? So now, if you see that Shraddha-devi Dasi is standing in front of you, sitting, and you know that she has got defective senses, which basically means that when she reads from the Bhagavad Gita, she could not be getting the whole information. She might miss on a word or two. Her glasses fall off, and something else, right? Defective senses. And the second is she can be illusion, right? And she can make mistakes. And then the fourth is that even after she makes all that, she cheats. Now, why will you be willing to hear from me about God? Why would you want to do that? That's why all paramparas actually should point to the God as this original source, because only God can give you information in an uncontaminated form, like that, right? And then the rule of a disciplic succession is that they have to hear as it is that they've heard from Lord, and then pass it on as it is, as Varshana was pointing out, without doing any interpretations on your own. Because to interpret something, you have to use your mind, and it is a material thing. The mind is not a spiritual thing. So your mind is material, and the moment you touch something with material, you can make mistakes in interpretation,
Sticks.
right? So that is why we have to keep on going. So that is why this Bhagavad Gita that we are reading is called Bhagavad Gita as it is.
As it is.
You have to preserve the originality. Having done that, still there will be sometimes here and there things will happen, and that's why Krishna says in the fourth chapter that many millions of years ago I have told this to sun god Vivashwan, who told this to his son, like that, right? Like that. So but then he says that this parampara gets broken every now and then, and because the parampara gets broken, then people, that information gets all completely messed up. People start interpreting the Bhagavad Gita wrong way, and that's why he says yada yada hi dharmasya glanir.
Glanirvati Bharata.
So that's why I come again and again. So when Krishna is
This
telling Arjuna that I have come here again and again, then Arjuna is realizing all that, the importance of Krishna, what Krishna does. And that's why he says that I will do as you please. And that is real Krishna consciousness, to realize that we have defects in this material body, to realize that Krishna is the absolute, and then that I am his servant who is supposed to serve him with loving devotional. So the service that we do for Krishna is not the service that we do at work. The service that we're doing for Krishna is with love. So it is your love that makes you get up in the dead of the winter and say, I want to chant in Brahma Muhurta. It's your love for Krishna that says that it's Janmashtami and I will control my senses by keeping a fast, right? So it's a loving devotional. So we have to remember the key factor there is love, which puts this
love.
philosophy on a very high pedestal. So your God is not a God that will punish you, right? I mean, he will do certain things, but ultimately you will know it's like a punishment of a father or a mother to the child. It's not the punishment of the government for a criminal, right? The punishments are at different levels. So even if Krishna, we are fortunate that Krishna punishes us, it is we are very fortunate because it's Krishna punishing us, and you are through that punishment you're getting in touch with something transcendental. The effect is going to come to you only like that. Okay, so 2 minutes left. Any last reflection? Today's Thursday. We have a short class, right? Anything else? Anybody wants to share? Ask a question.
I have one question.
Go ahead, Aditi.
Um, so on the spiritual master, just because you brought it up, I was wondering, uh, do because I'm fairly new in this journey and I've just started reading Gita, and I wanted to know, do I need one right now? How does it work? I'm learning so
Good
much from
question.
all the devotees.
Yes.
Can everybody be my guru? Is everybody my guru? What does
Very,
that mean?
yes, it's a very interesting question that you bring up. Actually, Srimad Bhagavatam talks about, there's a story of a Brahmana there, and he gives 24 gurus. He lists
Right.
24 gurus, and one of the guru is a little bird, Kurari bird. And this little Kurari bird has got a little some a rat in its beak and is going to eat the rat. And then suddenly a very big eagle comes from the top and spots that rat, and he tries to grab it. And this little Kurari bird, tries to fight back. And then the moment, but the eagle is a big one, right? Now the Kurari bird is fighting a losing battle. And just when the Kurari bird realizes I'm going to lose this battle, it drops the rat. And the eagle goes after the rat, and the eagle is happy, but now it stopped bothering Kurari. So from there, you learn when to drop. So he says that gurus are there all around you. You'll be learning from so many things, from water, from a flowing river. You see, when when a river is flowing, it comes across boulders, stones, big stones. And what does the river do? It doesn't just stop there and say, somebody remove it, right? It goes around it. So similarly in our lives also, these boulders are obstacles and we have to go around it, right? Then when it comes to formal thing, what you're doing is the right. You will in the beginning learn from many gurus. They will be your Siksha gurus. And in fact, there will be some guru who's also called your Vartaman Pradaksha guru, somebody who pointed you the way. It could be a parent, it could be a friend, it could be anyone, it could be a book, like that. And then there is the final guru, who's your Diksha guru, who kind of, brings you into devotional service in a formal manner. And who is going to be a guru is a heart to heart relationship. Krishna will arrange one for you. So right now you just, lap it all up, whatever you're getting out there, right? And
Great. Hare Krishna.
yeah, thank you. We are 1 minute past 8 o'clock. So the other team is going to start joining us. So I'd like to thank everybody who's watching us here on Facebook, and Dilip Bhai Patel, of course, Hemlata Mataji, his lovely wife, and then Ankita Bedi, Anshika Bedi, the little one, and Neelam Sharma is also there. Vijay Lakshmi Nair is there. Vidyavadu, Varshana Mataji, your friend. Thank you so much for joining us on Facebook. I'm going to stop the live stream now because I don't want to.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Danvat Pranam. Hare
Oh, you were
Krishna.
also there. You never got a chance
So
to.
much, Mataji.
Yeah,
Hare
Mataji. I was
Kalpana.
listening, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Everything is good.
I also
Thank you,
didn't get
Shraddha
chance today.
Mataji. Thank
You
you.
I
didn't
also
get a
didn't
chance?
get chance today.
Wow, wow. But you talked, right? Yeah. Okay.
Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyev च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Hare Krishna. All the Vaishnavas. Hare
Bol.
Krishna.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Hare Bol.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
So I need to.
Mataji, bring your hand up, please.
I'm not leaving
I
the.
really wait to see. I really wait to see that.
Now you're making her conscious.
Conscious. I told her that last time. Don't make me conscious. But I'd rather like my hands to be like this, right, than like this.
Hare Krishna.
I have hardly anything to give.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Then with pranams. Okay, so I think we were recording. Yeah.